Well, hello everyone. Welcome to P.B.M. Vending. I did a video not too long ago talking about how to increase or to improve your cash flow. Tonight, I want to do a video called how to increase your cash flow. The difference is when you are improving your cash flow, you're taking your current cash flow, making adjustments so that you can equal out your monthly bills so that it's not such a big drain all at one time, but you can average them out over the month. To improve your cash flow, what we're going to look at tonight is we're going to look at different ways you can increase your cash flow. So the first one I want to talk about is one that people don't think that much about, and that is your withholding. You know, when you sign up, when you start a new job, they have you fill out a bunch of paperwork, and one of the pieces of paper you fill out is how much they're going to deduct from your paycheck every pay period. So like if you have 2 kids and a wife, you typically would claim 2 or 3 on your withholding statement, and they would hold out X amount of dollars. If you're in a position where you need more cash, you need to maximize the amount of cash that you can receive and minimize the amount that goes to the government. Here's what most people do. Most people claim less than what they are able to claim, and that way they get a tax refund at the end of the year. Now, a tax refund is not the government giving you money. A tax refund is the government giving you your money back that you gave them as a tax-free loan. So if you're getting a large refund or even a medium refund, you need to increase your withholding. The less that you claim, the more they withhold. So if you claim 0, they're going to withhold, and I'm just going to make numbers up here. If you claim 0, they're going to withhold $100 a week. If you claim 5, they're going to withhold $20 a week. Okay? So if you're in a position where you're getting a tax refund every year, then you should go into your office and tell them you need to increase your withholding. Now, you will get a less refund at the end of the year, but each payday you will get a little bit more cash. That's an important way to increase your cash flow. Now, depending on where you live, another way to increase your cash flow and increase your savings at the same time is with a medical savings account. And you say, well, how can you save and increase your income at the same time? Well, here's how. A medical savings account is done with pre-tax dollars. So as an example, let's say that you keep out $10 a pay pre-tax. What that translates to is only withholding $7 or $8 from your withholding or from your paycheck. So they're keeping out $7 or $8, but you're getting $10. Okay? So that means every time you go to the doctor, every time you get a prescription, every time you do anything that is medical related, you take the pre-tax dollars from your medical savings account to put towards the bill, and instead of it costing you $10 like it is today, it'll only cost you $7 or $8. That helps. Now I want you to think about places in your budget where you can cut. And I'll tell you one of the big ones for me. When I first started my job, times were very, very tight and tough for me here because I wasn't making any money at all. That's a completely different video. But I rewarded myself every Friday at lunch because I would go to a little taco joint up the street and I would have lunch. And that was my reward for living a very, very financially tough life at the time. Now, that lunch cost me ballpark $10 a week. So if you're in a position, even if it's in a tight financial position, and you have one spot where you're treating yourself, if you need to increase your cash flow, you need to cut that down until you're out of the thicket. $10 a week doesn't sound like much at all. But $10 a week is $520 a year. Now, it is true that one little reward, $10 a week, makes it a lot easier to survive. And I'm not saying that it won't be tough. But $10 a week, if it helps increase your cash flow and helps you to survive and to help provide for your family, then $10 a week is a small price to pay. And I use that as an example. But what about if you did like, and I don't know what habits females have. What about a clothing thing that they do once a month? You know, like maybe $20, $25 a week less on clothing, or don't get your nails done for the next year. I mean, find something that you can do without, and then physically take that dollar or that $10, physically put it into an envelope so that you can look at it and know that you're making progress towards your goal of increasing your cash flow every single week, because you will need encouragement. Now, another way to increase your monthly cash flow would be a side hustle. And I've used this example before. I knew a guy who detailed cars on the side. Now, I don't know how many he did, but when he did mine, he would spend 2 hours on a Saturday or a Sunday, and for that he would charge me $100. And he washed and waxed the outside of my car, and he cleaned and armor-alled the interior of my car for $100. Took him a couple hours. That's $50 an hour. That's a good side hustle. Our ministry does. Our side hustle is our candy machines, and we're still working on that. We're still placing. We're still trying to figure out how to grow to the next level, and it's an ongoing thing. But it is a side hustle. You don't make a lot of money. The goal here is not to make a ton of money. It's not a full-time job. It's just a way to add to your cash flow to take some of the pressure off. Okay, now the next one is not going to be fun. Cut your expenses to the bare bone. Now, when I talk about cut your expenses to the bare bone, I did a lot of research on this because, like I said, I don't make a lot of money. So in order for me to save money or to cut my spending, it's going to have to be pretty drastic. And I have found quite a few ways. One of them, this is just an example, is to cut my utilities. And within a matter of a month, we cut our utilities basically in half. And here's how we did it. We went to our circuit breakers and we shut off the circuit breakers that we don't use all the time, like our water heater and our stove. So let's talk about the stove. If you cook one meal a day, you only need that on while you're cooking, right? But did you know that as long as your stove is hooked up, and mine is a 220 by the way, it is using what's called phantom electric, which means the electricity is being generated, it's coming inside your house, and because it is plugged in, it is being used by that by your stove. Now, the burners aren't on, but it's coming in, going through your stove, and then going back out and back out to your meter. You're paying for that. If you shut it off, you stop paying for that. Now, you can't go through and shut off everything, but here's what we did do. I shut off the water heater and the stove, and then I went through the house and I pulled the plugs on all of the stuff that we don't use, like the toaster, the slow cooker, the fan, the phone charger, and we just plug those things in when we need it. That way we're getting rid of, now, you may think that sounds silly, but let me give you some quick results. Oh, another one we do is adjust the thermostat. You know, when I'm not here, I keep it warmer or cooler depending on the time of the year, and then I adjust it when I get home. They just lowered my utility bill a couple of months ago to $83 a month. That's my level payment plan for the next year. We've already cut that in half in the first month, and it is maintaining. Now, if you are not on a level payment plan and you are paying on a monthly basis and you can cut your utility bill in half, just think about that. That could be huge. So what if your utility bill runs $100 a month and you cut that in half? You just made $50 a month. Now, is it inconvenient? A little bit. I mean, if you turn your hot water heater off and you only turn it on when you need it. Oh, and I did learn something. That water in the hot water heater stays warm for a while. But 50% on your utility bill is huge. Now here's another one. And I do not do this one simply because my spare bedroom is filled with machines. But if you have a spare bedroom or a garage or basement that you could convert, consider getting a roommate with a lot of vetting. And I do not recommend this if you are a female or there's a female in the house. I would not do this. But if you are living by yourself, or there are more than one of you in the apartment, then consider getting a roommate and have them contribute. I mean, even if it's only $100 a month towards the rent for a room, that's $100. Now the last one I want to talk about is one that is going to take a little bit of time and a little bit of planning, and it's going to take a little bit of money. But increase your income streams. And you think, Well, I'm watching this video because I got no money. How am I going to increase income streams? Well, there are all kinds of ways to create passive income. And I've done some videos on income streams. One of them, I think I called it our 7 income streams for our ministry or something like that. But what you're looking to do is to increase the income to your household every month without a lot of effort or energy from you. It's called passive income. You know, and let me give you some examples, like interest or dividends from stock, or income from like our machines that only require work every now and again to maintain, but you have income coming in. But if you can create several income streams and concentrate your time making the money on active income streams, now you're making progress. Well, those are the sources and ways that I see and that I have done and am doing to increase our monthly income to help our cash flow. Because trust me, when you're poor, you have no alternative but to look for ways to increase your income stream, and you need to do that. The way you do it is strictly up to you, and it fits your personality. These are just some ideas I gave you. Some are passive, like changing your withholding. That's just a one-time deal, and that will fix it. The medical income or the medical savings account, that's passive. Getting a second job, doing a side hustle, and those take a little bit more effort, a little bit more time. But there are many, many ways to increase your monthly cash flow, and I hope that you do some of them. The people that do nothing are the ones that always struggle, that always have a problem. Well, that's about all I wanted to talk about. I hope that this helps you to at least brainstorm about the ways that you can increase your monthly income stream and relieve some of the pressure on you and or your family to meet your obligations. You guys have a great week. Happy vending!